Welcome back to Close Up on San Diego Business, where we get up close and personal with San Diego businesses and the key people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, once again with our first guest, Randy Smerik from Solare Restaurant. Welcome, Randy.
Welcome. Thank you. Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about Solare Restaurant. Where are you? Where are you located? And what kind of food? Tell us more about you.
Yeah, Barry, thanks for asking. Yes, we're located in Liberty Station, which is in Point Loma. So it's kind of a new up-and-coming area that got started, 15, 20 years ago. Used to be a naval training center that was, decommissioned and brought back into the community.
I remember it well. That's what brought me to San Diego.
Yeah, it's been very exciting to see the whole transition. So you have to come and visit us more often in the whole new revamped area.
Come back to where it all started.
Yeah. But Solare is a very authentic Southern Italian restaurant with strong Italian roots. Our executive chef was born and raised in Sicily. Has only been in the United States a few years, so very authentic. A number of other folks in our kitchen are from born and raised in Italy, so that authentic focus really comes out in the food we have, as well as people from Italy and our front of the house staff as well. So it's been a lot of fun to get the restaurant going. We've had really good attention in the community. As you know, we just recently won a very important award in San Diego where each year San Diego Magazine has a restaurant issue where they select the best restaurants across San Diego for that year. And we're very happy to say that the executive chef I just mentioned, his name's Curcio Lota, was named best chef in all of San Diego. So that would be French chefs and sushi chefs and chefs on TV, everybody.
Not categorically placed, just overall
not just
best chef.
Best chef across San Diego. So we're very, very, very proud about that award, and he's very proud, of course. And then not only that, but we're also named the best Italian restaurant in all of San Diego. So that just happened in the last couple of weeks, so we're still riding very high on that. Okay,
That's wonderful.
I just got back from Philadelphia, so I'm going to put you to the test because we have great Philadelphia, great Italian restaurants back there.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to have to come, and you'll find out that it's what we do is not only authentic, but it brings an interesting mix of real Italy with local cuisine and ingredients and so on from here in San Diego. So it's interesting when you have an Italian restaurant. On one hand, you want it to be extremely authentic, everything from Italy. But on the other hand, it's very important to be farm to table and local and take advantage of seasonal things happening here in San Diego. So every day we have to have this perfect blend between those two things. And I believe at Solare, between Chef Accurcio's magic in the kitchen and the rest of what we do at the restaurant, we've been able to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people think of San Diego, and we have listeners everywhere, even outside San Diego. And they think of San Diego as just about Mexican food. People don't understand that we have
fish tacos,
we have a
right.
No, they do. People, because I have,
There's probably more Italian restaurants.
But people don't.
Other...
I know that, but my point is that people listening around the country, they think of San Diego as Mexican food. They don't think of us as, we have a lot of Italian food here. So for you to be picked as the best Italian restaurant over a lot, that is just an enormous honor. So describe a little bit more about your menu. You say Southern Italian. What does that mean? You say farm to table. You say also local stuff. Give me an example of some of your best dishes.
Yeah, so we have, for example, on the Southern Italian side, we have a special emphasis on food and ingredients from, for example, Sicily and from Campania and Puglia and other areas that come in, the southern areas of Italy. And really the difference between southern and northern Italy would be more of a focus on fresh ingredients, vegetables, the seafood, whereas in northern Italy, it might be heavier sauces, heavier meats, a little bit richer food. Clearly, every region has differences between them, but those would be a generalization. As far as local ingredients, we team with local farms such as Susie's Farm. All of the fish and so on we do is from local waters here, very sustainable. Our meat is hormone-free. So it's very important that we have that, that farm to table authentic ingredients when you taste our food, and you pick up on it right away. We're also very conscious that people are very concerned about gluten-free food items, allergies, things like that. So our entire team has been trained on what does it mean to be gluten-free by choice, or you might have celiac disease, and to make sure that we're doing the right thing with what we serve on our plates.
How do you deal with gluten-free in an Italian restaurant with pasta?
No, it's very hard. But what we've done is, in fact, one of the things I did mention is we are a family restaurant. So it's a restaurant that I started with my two sons, and so my older son Brian is one of the sous chefs in the kitchen, working closely with Chef Accurcio, and his focus is pizza. So he's actually actually the person in our restaurant who has done most of his own personal training on what it means to be gluten-free. He's rolled out that training to the rest of the restaurant, both in the kitchen and the front of the house. And he's also really spearheaded the effort of making sure we have one of, if not the best, gluten-free pizza choices in San Diego. So you can come to Solare and have a gluten-free pizza, and it still tastes delicious.
Oh, nice.
Also with our pasta, all of our pasta we make is a gluten-free option as well. So that can be served to you. So if you're, completely gluten-free for either medical reasons or health reasons, if you come to Solare, we can take care of you. And the same would be true if you have lactic, issues or anything else related to, food intolerance of some type or another. So we're very, very sensitive to that. And that really comes into our emphasis on, good ingredients and farm to table and so on.
Wow, so yummy and healthy.
It is indeed, and we actually, interestingly, we carry that over to the drink side too. I mentioned it's a family restaurant. My younger son Tommy is our bartender mixologist, and so not only is farm to table important for the food items you see on the menu that you'll eat, but we also use farm to table with respect to cocktails that he creates. So he has a long list of cocktails he's developed himself. Many of the ingredients, for example, he may use a organic beet juice from Susie's farm again, or something like that in some of the creations he does. So his cocktails are very seasonal, just like our menu is very seasonal.
Wow. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-hosts Andrea Kay and Al Arias, and our guest is Randy Smerik from Solare Restaurant. So
now, you were not always in the restaurant business, though.
That's true. That's one interesting, I guess, story on our site is authentic Italian food, family run, but it's also our very first restaurant. And so we went to it with a lot of passion, obviously very nervous. The restaurant business can be quite challenging, as many people know that are listening to this. But one thing I've learned in my career, and my whole career has really been in the high-tech field, so enterprise computing, networking, software development. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I've started a number of companies in high-tech, and as a result of doing that, I've run those companies. They've been very, I'll say, international in focus. So for the last 25 years, I've been on the road 90% of the time, working with different companies with respect to my software businesses. As a result of that, I've had the opportunity in some of the best restaurants across Europe, across Asia, across the world. And as every single night, 7 nights a week, I'd be eating in a restaurant with a client I'm either trying to sell to or maybe a supplier trying to sell to me. So during that period of time, I saw for 25 years what restaurants worked, what restaurants survived, which ones failed, which ones I liked, how they did service. And so that whole time I said to myself, someday I'm going to do my own restaurant and try to do it as best I possibly can. Plus, I'm a big wine guy. I love wine. And the reason I brought it all together now is it was something I could also do with my 2 sons. And so my older son has always loved to cook, so he's in the kitchen. My younger son has always been very interested in everything organic and natural and creating his own things. So he makes his own, limoncello. He loves creating his own cocktails.
Homemade. You have my attention, Randy.
And we have a whole long line of non-alcoholic drinks for lunchtime and so on. We don't necessarily need to have alcohol at that time.
Right.
So the whole gamut there. But so we really came together about 2 years ago and said we're going to create this restaurant. One of the things that I've done in creating companies on the high tech side was I developed a skill in being able to form teams. So I think the thing that really makes Solare succeed is clearly good food. You have to have good food. Our ambience is beautiful. We do a lot of events, but it's really the team. People who come to Solare feel like they're part of the family. They like to interact with the team that's making the food, the team that's delivering the food. You can sit at our bar and have a nice cocktail and interact with staff there. But it's very much a high energy family feel with lots of events. And creating that team spirit, I believe, whether our next guest is going to talk about amazing aquariums, no matter what it is that you do, if you create a good team and you work hard at it and you have passion and you're authentic, you can usually succeed. And even though it was our first time ever in the restaurant business, it was creating that team, I believe, that allowed us to achieve the success we have and the awards we've received.
Right. And
it's an experience. Being there, it's an experience.
That's great.
It's a beautiful place.
Definitely.
And it just works.
Yeah, and you do more than just a restaurant, because you have cooking classes, you have different things going on there. Tell us about that.
That's right. I think for, all of us have been eating restaurants for a long time. And I believe, 15, 20 years ago, as long as you had good food and your place looked reasonably good and your servers were not mean to you, you could have a good restaurant. And that was really all you needed to do. Now diners who come in, they really do expect it to be an experience. I mean, they want to interact with the staff. They want to know when their pork loin is delivered to them, they want to know what ranch that pig was raised on. If you get, zucchini, they want to know what farm it came from and when it was harvested and why is it in season now versus that time. They really want that full experience. And it also extends to, having, foodie dinners. For example, once a month we have a regional dinner where all the courses come from one area of Italy. People love to learn about Italy through that experience. We have winemaker dinners where they can meet the winemaker themselves.
Wow.
So she stands up and talks about how she made the wine and so on. We have one of those dinners happening next Wednesday with Trioni Winery. So being able to deliver that whole experience is very, very important.
So it is all about the experience,
Right.
and then the food has to match the experience, and you have a great
It
event.
is. And also being part of the community. We do a lot with the San Diego Food Bank. Jim Floros and I are good friends. We do a lot to support that group. The San Diego Rescue Mission with Herb Johnson, those guys do great things. So we really, part of being being an experience in a family restaurant, we also want to give back to the community. So we work with a lot of different groups, as you can imagine, but those would be two highlights.
Well, with this kind of success, I have to ask whether or not there's going to be more Solares around San Diego, maybe Southern Cal.
Yeah, we get asked that question a lot. The answer, and it's how much 100% truthful, is our whole focus is just on this restaurant. We're having a great time. Our customers like it. We still have so much to learn from our customers and from everything else happening in the industry. So at least for the next couple of years, this will be 100% our focus. And I encourage you to definitely come and check us out.
Yeah, maybe I'll see cameras in there. I mean, you guys would make a great reality show. Family-run, successful
fun, yeah.
business, cooking classes.
Yeah,
I'd tune in for that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, definitely.
So we're running a little bit short on time. Tell us again, where is Solare? How do we get there? And give us some tips on what you recommend on the menu too.
Yep. So Solare Ristorante, so 100% Southern Italian. We're located in Liberty Station in Point Loma. So if you're coming from the north, you'll probably come either across 8 going west or 5 going south, head into the Point Loma area. You'll see us on the left-hand side. Really easy parking, no problem there. We make all of our pastas made fresh each day, the pastas I've been talking about. So if you like pasta, we're the place to come for. Good seafood. We have a huge wine list. We have a full bar, 2 patios, dog-friendly, gluten-free. Hope to see you there.
Oh, absolutely, you will.
Well, before we go, let everybody know what your website is so they can take a closer look
Absolutely. It's www.solaralounge.com, and that's SOLARE, lounge.com. And we do have a fun event this Wednesday, which is going to be a winemaker dinner with the winemaker herself, Trioni Winery. So if you're interested in coming, join us on Wednesday. Just call us up and you can make reservations.
Great. Well, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
I plan on coming down and taking advantage, so I'll make sure you're there so you can show me the best thing to have.
Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure.
Great. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business, where we get up close and personal with homegrown San Diego businesses and the people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. This is financialnewsandtalk.com, and I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after the break with more homegrown business Close Up, and we will have with us Brian Long from our Aquatic Perfection.